Good evening. I would like to talk about truth. What is the truth? Sometimes the truth can hurt. Sometimes the truth can make you wake up and see what you're doing wrong. Truth can be so many things. But I just want to tell you what my truth is. I tell it like it is and how I see it. If I'm wrong, I apologize. But sometimes when people say things in a negative way, it's because they need to see things for themselves. I don't say too much negative things. I tell it like it is. Some people might not like it. That's up to them. I don't need to talk behind people's backs. I don't need to do any of that because I know who I am. It's like I said, sometimes you need to watch what you say. The tongue is like a two-sided blade. It can be good and it can be bad. And if you've got something to say and it's not nice, either don't say it. And if it can help the other person realize what they're doing, then yeah, tell them. They might not like it if it's the truth. Like I said, the truth can hurt. I've told the truth. I don't need to lie. I don't lie. Some people don't like the way I talk, and that's okay. And it is written in the Bible that the tongue is very sharp. So you have to be careful what you say. You could either talk negative or you could talk positive. And I like to talk positive. We can change that. I mean, it's all in the mind. It's a mindset thing. You know, when you have trauma during your childhood, you know, there's a lot of negative in life. It also says that, you know, you have to change that, because if you don't change it, you stay stuck. Okay? So you have to learn to change that in order to make you better. I mean, I know sometimes we go through a lot of hurt, you know, and we have a tendency to swallow it and put it in a box and kind of stick it somewhere in our brain, you know. But sometimes we have to let it out, because if you don't let it out, it kind of haunts you back. It's what they call skeleton in the closet. What you see and what you were taught might not be right. And things can change. I mean, you got to change it yourself, because if you don't change it, you stay in the same mode. It's just like a relationship. When you have a relationship, you're going back to the same relationship as your mother and your father, even if their relationship was not a perfect one, okay? But as a child, that's what you think love is all about. and it's not so. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's some people that had good lives, okay? But there's a lot of us that have not. Um, and we have to learn to change that, because when you used to see, your mom and your dad, they argue, there was no hugging, there's no kissing, you think that that's part of it, and when you go into your own marriage, you try to do a little bit different, but it also has to be both partners, because if the other partner had trauma too, and it could be a different trauma than what you had, it makes it harder. um, Sometimes the other person gets scared, they don't want to admit anything, how they treat the other person. um, it just